So when you look at it from afar, it looks like one big poster, but you zoom in, then you realize it's 100 individual posters.
I get it.
You get it. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it's just an idea. I didn't even think I have a device that could handle all those posters.
Did you see the one Gawks posted about?
Oh, the video where the laptop was like floating?
Yeah, that's the one.
And stuff? Like, how did he even
I know it's wild, right?
That's crazy.
Talented guy.
Hey, congrats on being a part of that collab as well, by the way.
Huh?
The Gawks Artist collab. You're one of them.
No, Elliot, that's you.
What? But he was talking about this Elliot guy that looks and sounds just like you.
Yeah, mate, he was talking about you.
Oh. But that man's... What do you think it is? Do you think it could be the
Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Aura Edition imagined by Intel? Yes, because this video is sponsored by Lenovo and Intel.
Ah, of course. I don't know if I should open this, man. I mean, like, what if it's got some really good artwork on it that gives me imposter syndrome or something?
Every amazing journey starts with one small step.
Shut up.
Sorry.
All right, here we go. I've made hundreds of posters in my life. My posters are funny. They make people laugh. Ha ha. That's the sound of laughter, just in case you forgot what that is. When I designed 100 posters in 100 minutes last year for reasons unbeknownst to me, the finished product got me thinking. There was something so striking about seeing all those disjointed posters stuck together like that. 100 frantic minutes of work condensed into a simple A3 page. And individually they're awful, but together they are strong. Together they make one big poster. I've been wanting to make another big poster for a long time, but I always got caught up with work and podcasting, and my program's crashing every time I try and make a bloody video of this scale. But that'll change when this thing arrives. This incredibly lightweight and thin device is the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i, and it's been on quite the journey to get here. It's gone from artist to artist to artist to artist to artist to artist to finally arrive at Elliot.
I am Elliot.
And everyone's used this laptop to make some next level stuff.
Can you like cut to the next shot so I'm not on screen anymore?
Inside, one folder addressed to me, and in that folder, a masterpiece. This is a piece by Vanessa Rivera, an incredible artist who makes artworks with more Photoshop layers than my entire portfolio. And Gawks has tasked us all to make an artwork inspired by the artist before us, so consider me inspired. The attention to detail, the color palette, the surreal dreaminess of it all. I mean, if Vanessa could make that piece on this laptop, then I should go all out. I think it's time to do something I've always wanted to achieve. I'm gonna design the biggest bloody poster you've ever seen in your life. But first I gotta design 100 posters. Oh boy. The freedom of designing 100 unique posters intimidated me, so I decided to set some restrictions to constrain my experimenting. I figured I'd be more creative working this way, but I think I might have gone too far. 1. 2 fonts only, a sans serif, Neue Haas Grotesque, and a serif, Adobe Caslon. 2. A 5 color palette, black, red, yellow, blue, and every poster would be set on my classic off-white. 3. No images, just text, shapes, and drawing. 4. All artboards on the same file, which I figured would be a good test for the Yoga Slim 7i. And 5. Don't be afraid to stick to your style. Awkwardly justified paragraphs, bold typography, and clean layout. These 5 restraints were made to ensure that the final big poster would look cohesive. But let me tell you, 2 fonts and 100 posters? Who thought that would be a good idea? Me. Behind every good poster is an idea. And a blank page, as you can see. I thought that was pretty smart joke. So where do you get 100 ideas from? My mind can only generate so many. I've already used up my 3 for the day. 1, if you think putting 100 posters up on a wall is a good idea, it's absolutely not. So I figured I'd take some more inspo from Vanessa's family forward work and consult my own family, which went really well.
So yeah, I was thinking like we could get the family together and maybe we could like generate 100 ideas together. That sounds fun, right?
Why do I always feel like you only call us when you want something?
I figured I'd consult my own family. My followers. So I asked you guys for some funny little phrases I could chuck up on a poster, and I think I ended up with about 100. Like maybe, 1 or 2 more. Like 102. But seriously, thank you guys for the suggestions. I was simply spoiled for choice. I had so much choice. Maybe too much choice. I reckon 30% of them said moo dang. This is a huge project, so I needed to lock in. And I'm not good at locking in. I like to do other things that I can never remember. Time kind of just passes and I don't know. But minimizing distractions is easy with this Lenovo Aura Edition laptop. I just turned on smart mode attention and the device suppressed any distractions that could have got in the way of my creative process. Very cool. The first designs weren't anything to call home about. Designing 100 posters is a daunting task, and the constraints I'd given myself weren't helping as much as intended, which, looking back, shouldn't have been that surprising. This is my favorite of the first 10. It's simple, clean, and funny. It just works. I finished this one and I said, yes, I can do this 99 more times. The more I designed, the more I rediscovered my style. Little grids of shapes, awkward but compact text blocks, and contrasting typography. Posters that felt very Elliot were becoming more and more frequent. At this point, I had a solid sense of how the laptop felt to use too. The trackpad and keyboard were incredibly satisfying to design with, and I couldn't get over how it's got a 15.3-inch screen for what feels like such a compact device. So compact that I could go back and forth between working at my desk using the built-in HDMI port, or even just working at a cafe, where maybe someone will see what I'm doing and be like, oh my god, are you Elliot is cool guy? Which was a made-up story.
But seriously, this thing has a lot of ports. Like, it's even got a headphone jack. Maybe one day they'll make a headphone Elliot.
These were some perfectly fine posters, but I could feel myself getting into the groove. Maybe I am a graphic designer after all. Big fan of Lorem Getsum and moving to NY with a sty. I've had a sty for 6 months now. These next 10 were pretty rough, not gonna lie. When designing 100 posters, you can't expect to be in the zone the entire time, and I think these are a good example of what pushing through creative block looks like. I don't know if this is relatable, but I think my sense of what looks good can change quite drastically day to day, or even hour to hour. I was so happy with some of these, and then I woke up and was like, oh no. I was so proud of this one. What was I doing? What's the vision? With the first 30 done, I decided to put all the posters together to see how the big poster was shaping up. And I was a little bit concerned. It was still hard to say for certain how the final thing would look, but the individual posters just weren't combining the way I thought they might. So does that make this whole thing a bad idea? No. Because every creative idea is a good idea. Except putting 100 posters up on a wall. I returned to form as I pushed on to poster 40. One kiwi a night for good digestion is sick. The disjointed typography, the semicircles kind of resembling, slices of kiwi fruit, and the fact that I've actually been enjoying kiwi fruits recently. I've been eating All Nervous No System, Ice Latte, Lost Dog. The layouts were feeling more complete, but sometimes it just depended on how good a phrase looked on the page. Some words just sit with other words real nice, and some don't. And when they don't, I spend way too much time trying to make them work. I think I put the bottom in lobotomy took me 30 minutes to make. But every minute spent being creative is a well-spent minute, right? On the way to 50, I started getting a bit lazy. You don't truly understand the scope of how much time and effort 100 posters takes until you start. And by 50, I had understood the scope. And a few of these posters ended up a bit too simple for my liking as well. Number 46 is just center-aligned medium text, and number 48 is just center-aligned bold text. Those layouts were my get-out-of-jail-free cards. You can only do those layouts once. Thankfully, the designing process was smooth as butter.
The Intel Core Ultra processor in this laptop treated this whole thing like light work from start to finish.
Got some extra confidence going forward, knowing that Illustrator wouldn't crash like it always seems to do during these videos. And by the way, why don't you save your work right now? Because I know you're designing something while watching these videos. I know I get divided attention. We are officially at the halfway point, and this is how we're looking. Now, I had a vision for what the finished poster would look like, and this wasn't really it. But I've seen the end of this video, and when I say trust the process, I mean it. Because this is when things started to click. The past 50 were plagued with overthinking and doubt, constantly thinking about the final poster not turning out perfectly. But the more posters I designed, the clearer that vision became. Every time I committed to my gut instincts, they were always right. I wasn't striving for originality anymore, I was striving for Elliot, and I was caring more about each individual poster on their own, rather than getting caught up in the intimidation of the big picture. The video is one of the most simple posters in the entire 100, but it's easily one of my favorites. It just works, I didn't even think about it, it just happened. The 100 posters in 100 minutes final design looks so cool because each one also just happened. Because with only a minute to design them, they just had to happen. And these 100 were going to happen one way or another. So we pushed on. A great designer once said, it takes 60 okay designs to make 40 good ones. And that designer was right. Right here. I said, this is where I expected the burnout to set in, but the complete opposite happened. I would find a phrase, read it, have no idea how to design it, and then I just would. Like so many of these posters turned out so well with absolutely no planning or no thought. I would start designing and everything just made sense in the moment. Gadime some way somehow, put the letters in circles. Please don't yell at our designers, bold type and a little drawing. It's a good day to be a duck. Yes, it is. I think they call this the flow state or something. And the initial constraints made so much sense now, especially with sticking to my style. I haven't designed as much as I'd like to in the past year or two, and I've been finding it hard to make posters without thinking, is this too different to what I usually do? Am I experimenting too much? Or this is too similar to what I usually do, I should experiment. So sticking to my style was a way of remembering what I actually like to make, and I remembered. I was filling the whole page and embracing my color palette and had some of the easiest time designing I've had in a long time. Also, I'd been designing over the course of a few days at this point, and I had barely had to charge my Lenovo laptop because this thing has up to 23 hours of battery life. 23 hours. That's like That's like almost as long as how long it took to put all these posters on the wall. And having a laptop that could handle all of this smoothly was one less thing getting in the way of making these posters as fun as possible. We love having fun while designing. Turns out it's a thing you can do. And can I just quickly mention, this whole thing was done in Illustrator. Do you remember when I couldn't even use that thing? Are you proud of me? Do you feel like a proud parent? Posters 81 to 90 are the best 10 in the whole 100. And I think I did them all in an hour. I just love how each one feels both similar and unique at the same time, which was the main goal of this whole project. This shape resembles a speedometer. Because every funny little phrase fit on each poster like they were destined to, and not an inch of page was wasted. Everything was intentional, and I was doing what I like to call graphic design. I rounded out the 100 with some solid designs. Just solid. Like I went to bed after doing the last 10. It might have lost my touch a bit, but I still really like it. There's something incredibly satisfying about starting with 100 artboards and just slowly chipping away. You can look back and go, hey, I did all that. And that's really cool. It was a good idea in the end. I proved them wrong. Proved who wrong, you might ask? That guy over there.
I never said
I
anything.
heard you talking to people saying Elliot will never do it.
You're
He couldn't
lying,
do
I
it.
didn't say that.
Look at me now.
Stop.
I did it, mate. Final 10. Consider me proud. An incredibly efficient 100 posters and not a single crash the entire time. Thank you, Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Aura Edition. You did good, mate. You did good. And just like that, my one big poster consisting of 100 small posters is finished. And this is also finished, but this is just for display purposes. I'm going to take this down now because if I go to sleep and these posters are hanging above me, one of them will definitely pierce my eye. Wait, did I just say this poster was finished? Come on, guys. We all know a design is never truly finished. Haha. So call me an overstepping client because I have 3 revisions. My color palette is cool and all, but Vanessa's piece had so many cool colors going on that it made me want to expand on what I usually do. So I chucked it into After Effects and animated the hue to cycle through a bunch of options. I then slapped on a bit of noise and texture to tie the posters together even more. And finally, I know that the whole collage look of the poster works really well right now, but I was pretty keen on adding a central subject to my poster. Vanessa had her daughter and dog in the center of her piece, and something like that could make mine complete. The only question was, who do I make the subject?
Me. Put me in the poster.
No, that makes no sense.
Please, I'm next of
Stop
kin.
saying that. You're not next of kin.
Finished.
One big poster made of 100 posters. The poster of my dreams, made possible thanks to the power of the Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i. And if you want to supercharge your creative process in the same way, then you're in luck. I'm giving away one of these Lenovo Aura Edition laptops to one of you, and I want to hear what you find inspiring. Either tag me in a post on Instagram or leave a comment right here in this video, and check the description for full details on how to enter. The only thing left to do now is to send this baby back to Gorks. I've left my poster in a folder just for him. Hope he likes it. I also left him a video message.
Hey, Gorks, mate. Hope you're doing well. I forgot to log out of my bank account, so if you just open the browser and just log out.
Make sure to check out all the other amazing creators' videos to see how we got to this point. And check out the link in the description of this video to learn more about the Lenovo Aura Edition laptop. Thank you again to Lenovo and Intel for sponsoring this video. And as I always say on this channel, design is fun. Yes? Oh my god, how could I forget the 100th poster? I think that'll do it.